How do I homeschool for the long haul? This is Pastor Timothy Board, co-founder and director of Grace Family Ministries. Our mission is advancing the cause of Christ to the ends of the earth, beginning right at home. Once again, I'm here with my lovely wife, Lori, and our friends Nathan and Jamie Rambeck, and we've been just talking about a lot of things. And so far as home-based, parent-led family discipleship, as far as, how do I start homeschooling, as far as why did I even, land on homeschooling in comparison to other educational options. But so far as the big picture is concerned, let's be honest, living in a fallen, broken, sin-cursed world, oftentimes we can be very discouraged. And oftentimes, even the Christian homeschool families, life isn't always just, all nice and tidy and picture perfect, these types of things. But keeping the big picture, the vision that the Lord has ignited as zeal and passion for in our hearts, that's very important to keep that in mind so far as to sustain our families for the long haul and not throwing in the towel, as it were, and giving it up or threatening our kids, if you don't fall in line, if you don't behave, I'm sending you to the public school, that type of thing. I don't know if you've ever done that. But anyway, so how do we homeschool for the long haul?
Yeah, so I tell people, even those who are just getting started, like homeschooling is not the easy button in life. Mm-hmm. It's not the easiest path. And so there will be challenges. And there will be days when you think, is this really worth it? There will come those days. And if you homeschool any length of time, you've experienced those. And so really, it comes down to, why are we doing this?
Sure.
And if we're doing this so that we can have an easy life, then, why am I doing this? This is hard. This isn't easy.
Sure.
But just like anything in life, right, the things that are most worthwhile are not the easy things.
That's right.
They tend to be challenges, things that are really worthwhile. And so I think, and this is important, I think, from a leadership perspective, which dads should provide, is keeping the vision plain. Why are we doing this?
Sure.
And we talked about that before. What are the reasons why we're homeschooling? Is it because our kids are going to be geniuses at the end of it? No, it's because we're building relationships with our children and we're teaching them to be more like Christ.
That's right.
And so keeping that vision plain. When we've had a bad day, mm-hmm. and you've tried to teach this 9-year-old their multiplication tables, and for the 101 time, for the 100th time, mm-hmm. and they're just not getting it, and the child's crying and mommy's crying, and dad comes home and he finds everybody's just mayhem. Mm-hmm. Where do we point everybody to?
That's right. And like you were saying, as far as that big picture family vision, as far as being reminded, and of course when we see in the testimony of Holy Scripture, as far as, and these words which I command you today shall be in your heart, and you shall teach them diligently to your children. Sometimes that teach them diligently is difficult. And so ladies, as far as from your perspective, as far as how has that big picture perspective, as far as being reminded, of course, Nathan and I both being pastors, and as far as leaders, the helms of ministry, as far as I suppose it's in one degree it's easy for us guys to say, but regardless of what a man does for a living, the Lord has called us to lead well, to sacrificially love our wives as Christ loved the church. So far as ladies, how has that kind of family vision encourage you, but also how could it be an encouragement to other ladies, regardless of what their husband does for a living?
Well, I think that having that vision is definitely like knowing the reason why you're doing what you're doing, and having the long view and not just the day-to-day, because sometimes we get caught up in the day-to-day, the crying, and those hard days happen, mm-hmm. but the long view helps. And maybe something to address here too would be, I know there's many women that want to homeschool and their husbands aren't on board. What do you do in that situation? Mm-hmm. But yeah, regardless, I know in our families, just that having a long view is important.
That's right. How about you, Jamie?
Yeah, so I would say it's been so encouraging because Nathan said, hey, listen, I've got a vision for this homeschool, and there are things that are really important to me that I think would be great for our family.
Sure.
And so he wrote those down, we talked about them, we shared them with our kids, and we even made a poster and put it on the wall.
Nice.
So that we could take everybody back to, okay, there's so many different things that you can do educationally, but what do we want to instill in our kids?
That's right.
And so another family might have a completely different set of things on their list, but you can spend that time and figure out what the most important thing is for you, and then encourage yourself, hey, we are reaching for this goal, and that at the end of the day, like she said, that's the long picture of what we want.
And,
Yeah, well, encouragement. So sometimes
That's right.
she's just had a bad day, and you know, I'm at work or whatever it is, and I come home and she's had a rough day, and she says, "We just need to put these kids back in school," because that's how she feels, right? She's trying to
Sure,
say-
yeah.
she doesn't
Throwing
mean-
a towel.
that's how she feels.
Sure.
And so I need to be an encouragement. That's the time for me to be encouraged. We can do this. You know, tell me about your day, those kinds of things. And then also, sometimes she needs a helping hand.
right.
Kids, you know, need some discipline.
He's your
or-
child, take care of him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Your son.
Yeah, and
Yes.
of course, there's very simple things as far as, hey babe, hey, let's go grab, some ice cream, coffee, let's go out for lunch, a date, go for a walk, or just as far as, hey, taking care of our lives, some very practical things like that.